Yes, we wanted to do it with as light a touch as possible. There's no need to bring an anvil down on something that should be self-evident, but it was meant to be a slightly humorous look at what, frankly, Hillary went through all the time. As she said, she would give a major policy speech while on the campaign trail, and all anyone would talk about would be her shoes or the color of her hair or the fact she looked tired or didn't look tired or what have you. That women, politicians, but also in any field, are often judged by their looks. I mean, why is it most women color their hair and most men don't? Mm-hmm. Women wear makeup, men don't. Very much so, very much so. And it would be silly to be co-writing a book with Hillary Clinton and not include what her reality was and is. And that was one of the things that was so fascinating for me, and I'm hoping for the readers too, is getting insight into what it feels like to be in a position of immense power in the most powerful nation on earth, but at the same time being a human being and being a woman. It was during the 2016 presidential campaign. And her best friend, Betsy, who turned out to be a character in the book, the Secretary of State's best friend, Betsy, in the book. But Hillary's best friend was doing an interview, much like this, and she was asked, what do you and Hillary have in common? And among the things she said was, well, we both love to read. And the journalist, God bless her, and actually this was a journalist that Betsy despised, hated her, but agreed to do the interview because she thought would help Hillary. She'll do anything to help Hillary. So she answered the question. And again, by, as I said, dumb luck, they happened to, at that moment, be reading one of my books. So she said they both read Louise Penny. And my publicist saw that in New York and said, this is happening. Do you want to meet Hillary's best friend, Betsy, while I was on tour? And of course I said yes. And Betsy and I met, immediately fell in love, got that sense you sometimes get with people that you know them very well. There I met Hillary after the campaign, and she and I became really close friends too, because at that stage I had just lost my husband. She had just lost the election. And so we had that happens all the time, I think, because I'm a woman and I'm writing, frankly, about Canada and a small village, that my books are categorized as village cozies, as something superficial, where I don't think you could read one chapter of my books and not realize that they are psychological thrillers. There's nothing cozy about them. The fact they're set in a small village. I've sat in meetings where the men talk to the man sitting beside my agent rather than me, where some man will say something and then turn around and wink at me. Or wink at me. Well, I'd never written with someone before, and she had never written fiction. So we weren't sure how this would work. I know it would be silly for me to believe that I am the expert in this partnership in geopolitics. Clearly, we have Hillary for that, and Hillary has me for the writing. So I wrote, and I would send her the pages, and she would go over them and tell me what needed to be changed. We would discuss some of the plot points. She'd send back her notes, and then I'd write some more. So essentially, I'm the writer and she's the politician. And it turned out to be a really good, good partnership. The thing is that this was during, as I said, the pandemic. And so nothing was happening in her life. Nothing was happening in my life, or not much anyway. So we would FaceTime with each other, and the FaceTimes would end up being generally about 7 o'clock in the evening. And I remember calling her up one time, and she was in bed. It's 7 p.m., right? She's in bed already, and I'm in bed. So I can't actually even take higher ground. And I'm wearing flannel moose pajamas. And she thought that was the funniest thing on earth. And so that's become a running joke with us, the flannel moose pajamas. I even put it in the book. I think the Canadian foreign affairs minister is woken up in the middle of the night and she's wearing flannel moose pajamas. So I gave Hillary a pair of these pajamas.
Whoa.